Multi-millionaire Kelly Dodd shows out tonight on The Real Housewives of Orange County. We're season 11, episode 7. Something's fishy coming at you right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Draw that. Hello, AfterBuzzers! Welcome to the Real Housewives of Orange County panel. We're ready to talk about tonight's episode and get into everything going down. There's going to be a lot of censoring, perhaps. So we're going to keep it clean for you. Yeah, we're going to keep it clean here today. Yes, because tonight's episode is full of all types of nasty and disgusting things that Heather couldn't handle. So let's talk about some things that went down in tonight's episode. I'm your host, Grant Rutter, and the full panel is here.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Christy Olson, and you guys can always hit me up at Christy Reports.
What's up, everyone? I'm Thomas Orlina. You could find me at Thomas Orlina on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook.
And hello, I'm Blake V. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Blake V Media.
Sounds good. Let's talk about tonight's episode, which opens up with this planning of the sushi dinner. What is this? This is a traditional Japanese sushi dinner.
Like very traditional.
Yes.
I just get excited whenever I feel like we're going to get cultured. Like I'm gonna learn some things tonight on Real Housewives.
Culture by Bravo. Yes. So Kelly talks about the lunch that she had with Shannon. And she says that Shannon is not her kind of girl, which I would be like, okay, like I kind of will make statements about people like that. She'll be, just not like, I thought it was very diplomatic.
Yeah.
We see the range of distaste and dislike in this episode, the world according to Kelly. Tamra says that Nina, she passes along the message. So Nina said that you have to SD to pay your bills.
And we're not talking San Diego, people.
Yes. And that's when Kelly, at the first off, she had to let us know, well, I've been a millionaire for years and years.
Yes.
That was the defense, okay?
What does that even matter? What does that have to do with anything we're talking about?
I know. She was struggling even to say it. Just say it. You know you're going to say it.
She's like, I am an educated millionaire.
Yes.
Damn it.
And she sure sounded like one.
Yeah. What else happened on here? Brianna had a moment with Vicki. I think we all enjoyed that scene.
Very much.
Yeah,
That was
so
sweet.
mother and daughter
Funny.
scene. Dawn came up. Vicky's desperate to fill the love tank once again.
Yeah, this is like the conversation that I think we all want to have with Vicki.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so hey, how you doing? What's going on in your love life? And hey, that Don, he was really great,
Yeah.
wasn't he? He still has that boat. And I mean, the grandkids would love to go on the boat. We're just saying, and
Brianna said that would solve the boat problem.
Yep.
I
Just
know.
getting back together with old Dawn.
Yeah.
Maybe she just needs a little bit more time and then think about it, Vicki, and then, make your way back to Don. He's
She's
just such a good
definitely
guy.
made some comments in the past about the divorce being a mistake,
Yeah.
and definitely that seed is planted in the mind of Vicki.
And she
she's-
paid out big money.
Right, and she's just had such a hard time since it. I think she thought things were going to go very differently. And she would find someone else, younger, better, whatever, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah,
and
it's not happening right now.
Yeah, it's been a rough road.
I'm laughing because I follow Shannon on Facebook and I turn on notifications because she's always doing these live stream videos with her and her husband. I tweet them out.
Shannon and David?
Shannon and David, yeah.
Wow.
So I tweet them out every once in a while because they're interesting. And she just posted, "We're at the bar. Join us for a cocktail." I could just see her saying that. I only wish it was a real text message. But her and her husband are in Hawaii tonight, so
Nice.
just a little up to date thing. I don't know.
Oh,
She made
I
an
wonder if
appearance.
she's being vacation Shannon.
I hope so.
Please,
hope
Lord.
so.
Yes.
I
Fingers
like that's
crossed.
my favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Megan takes issue with Vicki being invited to this dinner. She apparently 2 days before said she was okay with it, and now she's like, the moment that we share doesn't mean that we're on the fast track to being friends. Like, I want nothing to do with her. And Tamra didn't seem to really get it. She was more pissed that I guess she got the message wrong. But I mean, what difference does it make?
I feel like it was Megan's party, or they tried to make it, so it was like Vicki there was gonna draw some attention away from her. You never know what Vicki's gonna do, so I felt like that's why she didn't want her there. She probably took it back in her head.
Yeah, but I think Tamra thought she was doing something that was okay.
Yeah.
Definitely, I felt a little bad for her in this situation. It seemed like she couldn't really do the right thing for Megan, regardless of whatever the right thing may be. We know that Megan's got a lot going on at this point, and like hormones, that kind of stuff is no joke. So I'm gonna give her a pass on this one, but
She
she
gets a
was
pass.
being a little
Yeah.
difficult. A little difficult.
Yeah, and I had forgotten momentarily the whole basis of her not wanting Vicki there. And it was pretty major. I mean, she spent the entirety of last season trying to like take Vicki down and prove Brooks wrong and all of this. So it really was personal to her and major to her. So she's going to hold on to that a long time, I think, regarding
definitely.
Vicki.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's talk about Heather had a scene where she went to the doctor's, and she, not the doctor's office, but the show the doctors.
The doctor.
Yes. And we had to have basically like a scene that was like, yeah, my husband works a lot, but so do I. I'm busy too. So it's a little bit of like a spotlight on her hustle, which I like anyway. I mean, I like to see that she's one of the rare housewives that has a lot going on and will let you know.
Yeah.
She's a smart mom. She's a smart woman. I feel like that was really carefully planned out. Like we see her, we see her do her thing, but at the end of the day, it's like she wants to be relatable to the viewers, to not fall out with anybody. So it was nice to see her working and doing everything that she does that we don't normally see.
And she's now also co-hosting E's botched post-op. So that's really interesting too. I think they just launched it like last week, or if they haven't launched it, they were putting teasers up on social media.
I believe they did it last season.
Oh, they did?
But not for every episode.
Oh,
it was something
okay.
they kinda started
So
up
they're
last
coming
season.
in for the new season, I guess. It's the start of the new season.
Yeah.
And they were teasing on social media, like Dr. Nassif and probably Terry, like they all had it on their social media, and it just looked fun. Like they're just having fun.
They are.
Yeah.
On Botched, and Heather just jumps in because she's part of it. It's like,
Did you catch them
Awesome.
on Watch What Happens Live? Like
No.
a week ago? It was a good show.
Oh, there was the guys,
yeah,
right?
the two guys. Yeah, I like them.
I
still
they're
have it
fun.
recorded.
so much.
I'm gonna watch that.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
like them
Heather
so much.
acknowledges that she's like, I do have the help at home, yes, and that is how I am able to do these things. Like that is clearly for the stay-at-home mom out there, or the working mom, whoever. She's smart. She knows she needs to maintain relatability, like you said, and she's got to say, like, yes, I can do this because of my wealth. So don't hate me, and we don't, Heather.
Nobody hates you here.
We don't.
So we transitioned to the holistic doctor, Dr. Tim. And at first I was like, oh, what's this? Is this a filler scene? Whatever. He's working with Megan, he's a friend of Shannon's. But then we find out that he was at that 70s party. And so he witnessed a lot of this stuff go down. And what else can we say?
That wasn't planned at all for him to be there, for her to go to an appointment, right?
Yeah, I noticed him at that party though. I noticed him in the back because he was not in costume. Remember, there was like this random guy in a shot with no costume on.
Oh, that's weird. I don't remember him at all. And why wouldn't he have a costume? Come on, Dr. Tim.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's all very interesting.
It is, and it got pretty heated between the ladies.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good scene.
Shannon was tough on Tamra and Megan for lightening up towards the Vicki situation, and then they kind of turned the tables on her and said, well, lightening up, like you had your 70s party last week or a week ago and you invited you invited Vicki.
Yeah.
So that was actually like appropriate that they would mention that.
Right, and I think it's interesting for Shannon to be taking such this hardcore stance against Vicki because number one, we've said this before, they had a really close friendship previously, so for her to just scrap it and not want any sort of reconciliation is like a little interesting to me. Also, she really went to therapy for a long time to learn how to forgive David. So I feel like, as a person learning that skill and those ideals of like forgiveness and understanding the other person, she sure is being hard on Vicki,
You know what I think it is? Honestly, I feel like she's confused. It's like having that friend that you want in your life, you had so many fun times with, you can party with, you can, do your day-to-day things with, and just because there's been so much miscommunication, she's finding a struggle within herself to kind of forgive her. I feel like it's that with her.
When you get to that point when you can't define a friendship, then it's over.
Yeah.
Right.
In my
and-
opinion.
I don't know if it's over, though.
And it's spilling over into your other friendships. I mean, granted, the ladies needed to have the conversation they had in this scene and say, like, Shannon was going, well, you said you didn't want to let her back in like this, and this is exactly what's happening. And Tamra's going, well, we don't need to be that unforgiving. They needed to hash this out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think certain people expire in your life. And I don't mean that like in a disposable sense, like you just go through friends and throw people away. It's just, I don't know. I have some friends like that back home that were just outgrown.
Yeah, you
and it's
outgrow
like,
them, yeah.
It's just like, it's just not the same.
Right. And that's the thing is like the majority of scenarios we're dealing with on the show are group scenarios. They are group parties, group get-togethers. So I just really feel like you do not have to be best friends with everyone. yet everyone should be able to come together. Like, to exclude Vicki, even, no one's asking you to go one-on-one, you know, go have lunch with her or go spend the night or whatever, you know, right? It's just a group thing. So if you don't want to talk to her, fine, talk to Tamra, talk to whoever. It's just a group thing. So that's funny to me too. It's like, who can we exclude?
Yeah.
It's like, why not just be civil?
It becomes like a territorial thing, I feel like, with Shannon, because, I mean, she knows the relationship that Tamra has with Vicki, and I feel like she knows that Tamra's more forgiving. So for her to see Tamra go back, she's like, wait, you're going to end up being her best friend. You're not going to be my friend. And then that's where it gets choppy on Housewives. That's how I feel like.
So true, Thomas.
I feel like that's why she's confused.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I see them kind of coming back together at some point. Maybe not anytime soon.
I would
but
like that.
at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe just by association to the show too. Like a normal life would be easy to turn someone
Their
off.
winter commercial.
Yeah. Well, Kelly had an interesting comment. She said, well, all the things that were said against me at the 70s party, I know are not true. So I didn't get upset. However, I get very defensive when something is untrue.
Yep, she said that.
Yeah, so we're all on the same page, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, okay. And then we learned that getting very defensive means a lot of things. But before we get into everything that happened, she said that she sent a text message to Shannon saying that she should tell her friend Nina to get a lawyer because she's going to sue her for defamation. And I mean, where is Nina? Why is it she should be making an appearance at one of these events or having a one-on-one with Shannon or something?
Yeah.
Don't you want to kind
wasn't a
of
big
hear
fan
from
of
her
her.
a little
Oh,
bit?
I want to hear so much more. So much
Yeah,
more.
well, there's a lot of discussion of her, so I feel like she should have a voice in all this.
Maybe Nina should call us.
Yes.
I know she should.
we
Well,
need
she
Nina to
left me
call
with
us.
my catchphrase I've been saying for weeks now.
Oh, please let us know. What is this catchphrase?
Oh my god.
It was our favorite ever.
I love it.
Oh, don't be so ghetto. I've
Yes.
been saying that every day.
I live for that.
Well, Shannon calls Tamra immediately, and Tamra, I can't say she was caught because she owned it, but she's like, yeah, I told her that, you know, Nina said that you perform sexual activity for money.
Yeah. It's always like a twist of words. It's like she didn't say prostitute. I know that she was insinuating that, but that's how they hype it up and they put stigmas and names with people just to make it even worse.
Right.
But that's Tamra's role in OC. I mean,
Yep.
she's always the messenger.
Yeah.
Always
And
connecting the dots.
now that she's closer
Yeah.
to God, it's even harder to not like her.
I know.
And some weird
She needed it.
I
Yeah.
agree.
She needed
I
it as a
agree.
shield.
It's harder.
The protection of Jesus.
And in the last few
God.
seasons, she's figured out that she should own up to it, and she gets in less trouble
Yeah.
than lying about whether she told someone something.
Right.
Remember, that was kind of the old MO, and now
She
she's
learned
like,
that
"Nope, I
lesson."
said it.
Yeah.
Be mad,
Yeah.
but not too mad."
Right. Well, and the whole thing of Kelly getting upset, I do not understand that. I do not understand why Kelly's upset. I do not understand why if some stranger she's never met before, she said that many times, said something like that about her, especially what she said, like specifically what she said.
Well, I think this is her.
Why?
I
Why
think
does it matter?
This is her first taste at reality TV, and she knows that's going to make the air show. So I think that she's like,
I sure hope
this
she's
is how I'm
putting
being
on.
introduced. Like, I feel like she's I think she's in that point where she's realizing she's losing control of her self-image to the product that is the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
And we've all kind of been, well, I think most of us have kind of been Team Kelly so far.
Yeah.
Or at least I think
think-
Thomas and
I
I
think
have.
we
Oh, that was
do.
the divide.
That's right.
Yes.
I don't dislike her.
Making it clear.
Thomas and I have been giving her the benefit of the doubt until tonight.
Tonight, have
you
you
agree?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So we're on the same
Okay,
page still.
yeah.
Tonight was like a little bit of a game changer.
Yeah.
She did not carry herself well. She brought up this conversation out of nowhere for no reason. She already squashed it with Shannon. Why bring it up? Why keep getting so mad? It's not true. So calm down. Right?
I don't know.
Like all of these things.
I just feel like she comes off, I don't know about you guys, as like a very strategic person. So I
Kelly?
feel like this is, I mean, there's no big moment that happened now. It's drawing attention on her. Like she's using this opportunity to blow it up and to manifest it into something bigger than it really is. Because I'm sure she's been called worse things before. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody might have at some point. But I feel like with her, she's using this and it's something that's going to affect everybody because everybody was there. So I don't know. I'm seeing a little bit.
I still think it's her just adjusting to be on camera and having people say anything against her, you know, because she knows that that's out there and it's hard for her to control. Some people get like that. you
Yeah.
know?
But she's like, I feel like she's
should know.
going into so many, like she's turning to the left with every single cast member. I mean, it makes for great TV and it also makes for the next season where she has to do the apology tour. So I feel like maybe it might be to hang on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would really like to see how she would behave in a situation where there's no alcohol. That has been a major factor in every single one of the times that this is broken down. Every lunch they go to and she's lamenting every time. We get, by the end of the scene, a very, very intoxicated Kelly.
Right, and she's like visually intoxicated.
You can see it happen quickly.
See it on her.
Before we get into all the details of the party, and Thomas mentioned apology tour. Vicky's here. Vicky's here. She has something to say to Megan. Before we get into all that, let's turn to Blake with some news and more from our sponsor.
Exactly. We have a really excellent sponsor here at AfterBuzz TV that we want to talk to you guys about. They are called Eloquii, and they are a online retailer offering women's plus-size clothing and accessories. Christy and I had some accessories, and we were really excited about them. I'm wearing this little kind of gold cuff with turquoise inlays, and I got this really beautiful kind of marble pendant with black, with kind of gold chain and a gold backing. Really, really beautiful, really fun accessories and really fun clothes. So a little more about the company. Eloquii originally was part of the Limited, which started in 2011. After closing in the summer of 2013, the online outcry from disappointing customers was palpable, and former Eloquii employees and investors revived the brand in 2014. It is now based in New York and Columbus, Ohio. Eloquii was launched directly in response to consumer demand for stylish clothing choices for plus-size women. The store's product concept is trend-driven and contemporary fashion for women sized 14 to 28, with new styles added to the site daily and full collections launched every month. Huffington Post says, this online retailer is changing the world of plus-size fashion. Glamour says, the fashion gods have heard your prayers. Everybody is loving everything that they're getting. We have some friends here at AfterBuzz TV, Yell and Tiana and a bunch of others who specifically say, we've got a couple quotes here. Yell says, I love my Eloquii stuff. It's so cute and classy. I can't wait to wear more. Tiana says, I've loved everything from Eloquii. The clothes make me feel cute, sexy, and confident.
Yes,
How great,
and
eh?
they look good.
And they look
and even if you're
so
not
good.
plus size, though, the accessories are fantastic. They have shoes as well. I got a really beautiful rose quartz necklace and some earrings. Really unique stuff that's well priced and well made. It's great. You guys should check it out.
And really fun and different. Like all the pieces that even just Christy and I got, each of them were really unique and really fun. So there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of really fun options.
And we have a code. Yes.
We do. Yes, we do. For 50% off of your first item and 40% off any additional items, visit eloquii.com/buzzny. And for a quick spelling, so we all know how to get there, it's ELOQUII.com/buzzny. Just the letters BUZZNY. And that'll get you there. And it's just exciting. You know, you'll get a discount of all these really beautiful clothes. The shipping is through. Hang on, this is some important information. They ship throughout the U.S. and Canada, and it's free on orders over $100.
Nice.
No questions asked, no hassle exchanges, which are free for items purchased within the last 30 days. And of course, you can also return the item if you are not satisfied for your money back.
That's great. Thank you.
Amazing.
But you will be satisfied.
Yes, you've got nothing to lose. Head to eloquii.com/buzzny.
Yes. And then you can show up in your new outfit, take off your shoes, and go sit down at this Japanese restaurant and watch the women behave very poorly. Let's talk about
I feel like
the
that's
behavior.
something Tamra should have sent out in the invite. Like, don't worry about your shoe selection. We'll be sitting down. It's traditional
And
Japanese
nobody
stuff.
follows the rule.
No, and she didn't even know. She's like, oh, but my shoes are really cute.
Well, and Kelly had to remind everyone that her shoes were very expensive because they were snakeskin.
Yeah. Well, she's a millionaire, so
But yes.
a multimillionaire.
For years.
For years.
For years, a million.
So of course her things will be expensive.
Yeah.
Sounds like me trying to convince them not to throw my stuff out at the airport a couple weeks ago. I was like, no, that's.
But I'm a millionaire.
It's very expensive.
Oh no! Do they throw things out on you?
They tried.
They tried.
Lord.
TSA.
Well, Vicki wastes no time running up to Megan, and Megan is clearly not interested. She's like, I wish she had a job or like something related to not being able to come to this event. And so there was some gift exchange. It looked like, I don't know, like a book or something.
Like a book and a stuffed animal kind of thing.
Yeah, something was exchanged.
An olive branch.
Yeah.
An olive branch. That's exactly what it was.
And then Vicki said like, yeah, no, I just want to be friends again. I'm sorry. And she starts like pulling Megan's hair. And Megan's like, thanks. Like, it's not
That
gonna
was
happen.
really funny.
I know.
Yeah.
I
With
think
the hair.
Vicki was trying though, right?
She was.
Do you think
She was.
Well,
Yeah,
she's
we
made
gotta-
it clear she
yeah.
doesn't want to be friends. She just wants to be friends.
Just regular friends.
She wants to see Megan and Jim, and instead of telling them that they're going to get divorced soon, ask them how they are.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
simple request.
Yep.
Well, Kelly's seeing red. She's really upset just to be in the same room as Shannon, and Shannon doesn't look that bothered to me. I'm like, is this the dramatics of it all or what?
I think she was
She
exhausted.
knew that Kelly was going to do herself in, I think is what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
She knew she just
Yeah.
had to sit back and smile and not drink too much.
They
and
gave
she'd be fine.
Shannon a really bad seat. Who wants to be all the way down, like at the
Yeah.
damn wall? They should. I never
be
like
pissed.
sitting next to
You didn't
walls
like
at
the seating.
restaurants. I didn't like the seating. They should have put her little. You know, I get that
Yeah.
they need to be separated, but you're gonna put Shannon next to the damn wall. Of course, she didn't say anything. No one
Put
can hear.
Sarah
her.
next to the damn wall.
Exactly.
That's true.
We need Shannon center stage, please. I just really did not understand this whole thing. I'm just very perplexed. Like, Shannon did seem like just cordial, just civil, just not about to start things. And Kelly just flew off the handle. And she said it was because she found out this new information. Tamra told her about the S&D comment,
Yeah.
and that just like put her over the edge. But I just don't understand why.
It seemed to me like Kelly was trying to get a reaction out of Shannon because she sat there and she said, her and her disgusting friends. She kind of kept looking
so
over.
loud and
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
loud.
they're so gross. Everything they kept saying, all of Shannon's friends. Like, Shannon didn't take the bait.
Yeah.
She didn't.
Gee,
I
Kelly's
would
talking
have.
quite loud.
I
don't
would
know what
have.
she's
That would
talking
have.
about.
I would definitely use that as a way in.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, well, I don't let someone talk about me when I'm in the room like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it wouldn't happen. No.
I don't know why I feel like she's so gone when she's in these moments, Kelly. Like, I feel like she might be drinking way too much,
Yes.
and by the time the cameras are rolling, it's like anything goes.
And
And it's not
we're
a good look.
Totally. And we're seeing now, too, that she's really not making a lot of sense. Like,
Yes.
I think the first time I saw it was maybe something in the last episode we saw, and then a lot in tonight's episode. It's like she keeps talking, saying certain points. Megan was asking her a question, but she like kept talking over here, and it's like she's not coherent. When she gets on a tirade, she's just blinders on and she's not paying attention to anything.
Yes.
It's interesting.
I think she knows it too, or like you said, she's starting to figure out how she's looking, because I think that's where the comments about, oh, I'm educated and I'm a multimillionaire came from. Because she's like, I have to say something about myself that's not, I'm a drunk,
Yeah.
like foul-mouthed jerk.
Crazy,
Yeah,
but
nobody
crazy
talks
yelling
about
lady.
it.
Yeah.
None of the women pointed out. Like, nobody has pointed out, like, you know, you might be drinking way too much, or no one's confronted her head on. Maybe that might be
Right.
later on, but I just feel like when I look at her talking to some of the things that she's saying, I feel like she's like blacked out.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like
yes.
blacked
Yeah.
out. And then
She's
she
all
maybe wakes
flushed.
up from her blackout when she realizes nobody's at the table anymore. And she has to run outside and say sorry to people. I really feel like that about her. I hope she gets... I
think
hope
you're
I'm wrong, but
I think you're so right. I think that's going to come up. I think at some point some of the ladies are going to bring that up
Yeah.
as an
that
issue.
might be her storyline. I don't know.
She had that right before she lashed out on Shannon. What did Shannon say to her to set her off to call her the C word?
I believe Shannon was saying that Nina had not made those comments.
Yes.
Oh,
Everyone
okay.
else was backing her up and saying yes, that they heard it, and Shannon just kept saying no, she didn't say that.
Yeah, and then so the results in you're a C word, and shut the F up, she said to Tamra, because Tamra tried to jump in, right?
And called her a dumb F.
A dumb F, yeah.
Which was really harsh. I mean, Kelly was directing her anger at all these other people that are her friends, at least have been her friends up to this point. Maybe not Shannon, but, you know, everyone else on this side of her table. It was just like very strong, and it was weird because, like you said, it's almost like she snapped out of it. And
Yeah,
then when
she
she came
definitely
out,
snapped out of it.
when she came outside, she was lovely and I'm so sorry and apologetic, and she seemed genuine to me.
She's got a lot bottled up, you know? She's got a lot bottled up.
Yeah.
Opinion. You know, I feel like with her, watching her the swift reaction like that with names and everything, there's a lot under the surface. I think it has to do with that marriage. Tamra says, how is she affecting your life? Like, how is this girl's comments really affecting your life? How
That's
is
a
any
great
of this
point.
happening?
Yeah.
And that's when she calls Tamra the name. And then Heather, another party heard from, who had nothing to say through all this, is apparently boiling over.
I was just So surprised.
Yes.
Yeah.
So surprised.
So she's disgusted. This is not okay. And my favorite one of the episode is when she said, "Leave."
I know.
One word is enough for me.
Totally.
That was interesting that Kelly kind of shut that down too. Like, I feel like that's why I kind of like her in a way, because she's not gonna. I mean, Heather,
She's not a pushover.
I get it. Heather has a lot of power. She's a powerful woman, but she's not a pushover, and she's definitely gonna not listen. I mean, they're grown women, so for someone to say that is. I think Heather's used to people following her orders. She might have been like, okay, then I'm gonna leave. Okay, fine.
Yep.
Kelly even said, "Who are you, the boss?"
Although I think at that point Kelly maybe should have bowed out gracefully.
Oh, yeah, she
and
wasn't.
said like, "You can't kick me out. I want to be here anyway." Yeah. I mean, she said some pretty immature stuff before that. What difference would it make?
Right. Or again, I just really feel like part of etiquette and hosting parties and life is that the host needs to step in. You're having this party,
absolutely.
especially if you're around the situation and can. Like if you left to pick up more liquor or you're in the bathroom or I don't know, you're not, you know, like if you're not around, fine. But if you're around and you're witnessing it, I mean, this is your party, you put it together, like you need to diffuse it. And especially Tamra, Christly Tamra should have been like, whoa, 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 ladies, like Kelly, calm it down. Heather, like let's all, you know, whatever. But none of that happened. No diffusing ever happens in these
It
situations.
wouldn't be Tamra if it was if she
Yeah,
came
it's
out
not
with
in
the
her
freaking fire
character.
extinguisher. She's not gonna bring
Yeah.
it. She made that happen.
Well, Heather had to remind us of her wonderful life. She said, "I have a nice life. I just don't want to be associated with this. I just don't want her near me and all that." So she had let us know. And then, so that was pretty much the end of that. That moment, anyway, with her. Things kind of dissolved at the dinner. Vicki, what is all this? I don't even know. I don't even know what
Everybody
this
tried
note
to
is.
make nice, and Heather cried, and it was weird.
Yes.
Heather had a
Oh,
meltdown.
that was
did.
that was the scene that I wanted to say.
Oh, man.
Yes, how Vicki said that I've apologized to everybody, and then Heather said, "No, you have not, but that's okay. But you have not," something like that. So she was
like, "Wait, I'm not trying to make this worse, but no, you haven't."
She was fuming.
That was the point I wanted to make.
I don't know
yeah.
why I low-key felt like she said like she was that upset in the car because she went off on Vicki. I feel like it was more, you know, she didn't have to go there. It was the situation that forced her to act that way.
Oh,
So I
for
think
sure.
it was part of her
She wouldn't have said that
behavior.
otherwise.
Like
You
she
know?
felt like she gave in to the
She
low
gave-
base
yeah.
BS.
She did, and
Yeah.
I felt like that was the hard part for her. I feel like
And
What
she
was
did
the
because she
switch?
reacted that way. I mean, all the rest of the women sat there and observed, and
Yeah.
nothing was directed at Heather. She could have sat there and observed too, or tried to diffuse the situation. Not that way, not screaming and adding to it. So that was really interesting to see her that
What was
way.
the switch?
Yeah.
not even Megan could shut that down.
No, and even in Heather's,
She's useless in a good way.
well, she's like almost pregnant at this
What
point.
is her
Yeah.
relationship?
It's fair.
Can you guys like
She's
tell me
pre-preggers.
what is her relationship with Kelly? Like they were supposed to. She put her on. You put her on your show. I feel like they never see each other. They're hardly hanging out.
That's true.
Kelly's
It's
been
like-
like
They
not
may
very
have
nice.
never,
They
they
don't go
may
to
have
events
never
together.
met each other before that first shoot when they were supposed to be friends. We don't know. We probably never will.
Yeah, I know it's so interesting.
Well,
It's an interesting relationship.
I know they're all interesting. Like all the dynamics of these ladies, especially like the newer ones, like Kelly, like Heather. I mean, I know Heather's been around for a couple seasons, but I mean, like we've never seen this side of her of what happened tonight. And even in her interview, like her face was just so different when she was talking about it. I mean, normally she's fun and champs and you know whatever light in her interview, and this time she was like stone faced and she was like, "This is unacceptable. I will not take it."
Yeah, she was.
Get
not
outta here,
happy.
Kelly.
She doesn't want. I give her credit. She doesn't want to be on a ratchet reality show. And when it gets to that
And
level,
I get that.
Yeah.
when
I
it gets
get
to that
that.
level, it's like, all right, I'm out. Like, this is not part of my brand. I'm done.
Even in life, like, don't you just get irritated in some situations when people are acting crazy or whatever? You're just like,
Yeah.
I'm over this.
And I think it was
Yeah,
the
if it's-
syrup
With the
that
cocktail, just
sent her
watching
over the
everything
edge.
unfold.
If
What was
it's
that,
something
Christy?
like low class.
Oh, I
yes.
think it was the dropping of the C-bomb that sent her over the edge. Grant, you were saying what was the
Yeah.
switch? I think
switch,
I think
yeah.
you can just see that in your head as it's happening. As a housewife, you know how promos and trailers work, and you just see that for the next year of your life.
That
you
was
know?
kind of Bad Girls Club.
Yes. And then, so she said it was low-based BS. I guess we've rested our case then. Kelly then turns around and goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you that. I'm sorry, let me just give you a hug." And it's like, wait, who? Who's this now?
Just like a little innocent
I didn't mean
like
it.
a little innocent
Yeah.
princess. Just,
Those-
I'm so sorry.
Those are the people that I feel are the housewives that need the most help. Because if they're not
You and
seeing
Tamra.
it, if they're not seeing it, I know, seriously, she's hanging out with Tamra more instead of Vicki. I feel like she's gonna be doing that a lot, I feel, until she recognizes that she needs to get some professional help on her anger issues, and she keeps bringing it up.
And that's
And that's
okay,
gonna be her thing, I feel, for the show. You know.
And what's interesting too, just one more point about Kelly, is that she said that she endured the comments from Nina at the party. And at first she was irritated, but she, whatever, kind of let it go. She said it wasn't until she came home and told Michael, her husband, and then Michael was like, wow. So I feel like Michael probably egged her on, stirred her up, got her all riled up about the situation, which if you're married to Kelly, are you really trying to do that? Why wouldn't Michael be like, so what? Tell her, get over that. Who cares? Who's this woman to your multi-million-dollar life? Right? Like, she's nothing to you. Get over it. We're fine. Get over it. But he didn't, Michael. He didn't do it.
Well, at the end, they say there's a scene, Tamra and Shannon, where they kind of psychoanalyzed her. And Shannon's like, no, she's straight up evil. She's an evil person. But then Tamra says that she sees pain and that she flashed back to the scene with Gina and the place that she was in when she was married to Simon. So I can kind of understand. I'm behind what Tamra said. Like, there's something beneath the surface. She had a lot bottled up. And maybe it was just the alcohol, but I don't. Maybe it was a combination of it. Has to be.
I think it has to
Has
be.
to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know who's there for it is Vicki, for sure. I feel like Vicki
For
knows
some
what's
reason.
happening. I mean, if someone's gonna go completely OOC and out of control, and she's just sitting next to her, I mean, Vicki has to know. Okay, I'm rolling with her. She's like
observing.
the one that's not like nobody is in love with Vicki this season,
Who
so
was
she's
sitting-
holding on to whoever's gonna.
Was Vicky
hang out.
sitting next to Kelly? It was
Yeah.
Vicky, Kelly, Megan, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
And you see already on the next episode, they're hanging out. I feel like they're excluded in the next thing, so.
They're still hanging out with each other.
And then what
Yeah.
Kelly say? They hate us because they
They
ain't
can't
us.
be
Yes. Yeah, they can't be us.
Out of
They hate us
control.
because they can't be us. Oh,
Well,
please.
let's transition to some news and gossip.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
do it.
Christy, what do you got?
Well, they hate us because they ain't us sounds more like something that former RHOC star Alexis Bellino might say. Now, we know that her financial situation with her husband was well documented on the show, something that they were always kind of defending. My news today is that Alexis and Jim have purchased a $3.65 million home in San Juan Capistrano. It has a guest house, a barn, a pavilion, 5-bed, 6-bath, 7,300 square feet.
Wow.
Apparently, they're doing something right, y'all.
Yeah, those
Interesting.
trampoline parks. They keep opening more and more. I'm glad. I thought you were going to say they filed for bankruptcy
I
or
did
something.
too.
And I was like, oh, I do hate to hear that. I don't like anyone to have to go that far, but I'm glad to see they're doing well.
Yeah, so congrats to them. And a little follow-up from last week. We didn't hear anything on tonight's episode about Vicki's phone call to Brooks.
Oh yeah.
What happened with that voicemail? Well, Brooks confirmed via Twitter he responded to someone asking him, and he said that he did not respond to Vicki's voicemail, and he agreed with this other tweeter that Vicky needs to move on.
Good.
God.
So he was throwing some shade.
Who would have thought he'd be the more
The voice of
reliable
reason.
one?
It's
Yeah.
like I don't want to be associated.
Yep, but I couldn't agree with that more. Thank you, Brooks. Finally.
That's
And
right.
hopefully Vicky, in a learning moment, hopefully she's embarrassed enough by that moment not to do that S anymore.
Right. Hopefully that was the last straw. I hate that had to be the last straw, though. I wish she would have just
Been the winner.
stayed strong, Vicky.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give
well.
in.
Well, another little real-time tidbit update for you. Shannon just said in an interview this week that she has never been called that word that Kelly called her tonight. And she was really taken aback by it. She said the 70s party, the lunch with Kelly, and this boat incident all happened within about a week of each other. So that helps maybe explain why emotions are so raw. Meanwhile, Kelly was on Heather McDonald's Juicy Scoop podcast this week, and she was spilling all kinds of tea, talking all kinds of crap about the Housewives, and actually one of Heather's high school classmates is kind of coming out of the woodwork in the blogs now and saying Kelly has always been a mean girl. She was known to fight and spread rumors and lie about which town she was from. So of course those people are gonna come out when you're on reality TV.
Yeah.
And some happy news. Heather's podcast, which she did talk about tonight, Heather's World, is going on a live tour. Wow. If you are in New Jersey, you can catch her in September. She'll be in Vegas in October, and right here in Anaheim, California in December. Don't fret though, more dates are being added for Minneapolis, Chicago, Atlanta, and San Francisco coming soon. And that book that she talked about tonight, we haven't heard a lot about. It's apparently on how to age gracefully, or has something to do with aging, and is already a #1 new release on Amazon. It doesn't even come out for quite a while yet.
Wow.
I know.
I thought it was gonna be something home related, like a design or like like a happy life home book because of her saga building that house.
sense.
But good for her.
Yeah, aging gracefully,
really good.
I wonder, like, with medical insight from her husband or from a personal standpoint.
It's probably a big commercial book for their skincare line.
Wow,
Right?
yeah.
Like read
Yes,
my book,
Christy,
but
yes.
also you're going to be suggested to buy my
First page
skincare
you
line.
open, it's just the products.
Yes.
I listened to her podcast. She did a live show in Anaheim I'd say about 3 weeks ago, and it was actually pretty good.
How fun.
Yes.
You should go.
We have to.
Do a live report.
Yeah, it was
From
awesome.
Heather Live.
Yeah, it was good. She goes out, she's herself, she gives her some advice, she gives
I
some
like
life
it.
tips, and she has a conversation.
Sure.
It's pretty good. In the meantime, I'm promoting her podcast, so I'm going to promote my own. You
Yes.
can find me over on Twitter at Grants__rants, and you can find me on my podcast, Grants Rants Hollywood Talk.
Well, there are lots of new juicy red carpet interviews at ChristyReports.com, and please also follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram at Christy Reports.
All right, everybody, follow me at Thomas Orlina on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook.
And you can find me, Blake V, on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat at Blake V Media.
All right.
Great. We'll
was a
catch you
juicy
next
one.
week. Yeah, we'll catch you next week with OC.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.